Welcome to another C3UG video, everyone. My name is Graham Akers here from Vancouver, and Michelle.
Hi, I'm Michelle Smith here from Halifax, Nova Scotia.
I'm Colin Breckles with Castlebreck in Ontario, Canada. Graham?
And today our topic is the 2024 North Star Award, which we award to somebody in the community who's made a significant contribution. And our guest today is Theo Hesselmans. Welcome, Theo.
Hello, everybody. Nice to be here.
Yeah, so we did this in person. This is our follow-up video, but in person, Michelle, myself, and Heiko of C3UG were with you at Engage in Antwerp, and we're able to hand over the award in person. But maybe you could hold that up and show the video, and Colin, you can tell everybody about the award.
Absolutely. So this is a handmade award by a Canadian craftsman made of steel and Canadian hardwood. One of a kind, made just for you, sir, and with great thanks. We actually have some questions for you.
Yeah,
Graham.
quick chat.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so Theo, you and I met, at least I remember the first time we met was at Lotusphere. And maybe just start off by telling us how many times you attended Lotusphere and how you actually got involved in the user group community.
Well, actually, I missed only a few Lotuspheres, so I've been to over 20 of them. The first 13 years of them, I walked just like an anonymous attendee, worshipping all the speakers who were walking there and then who were talking. And then Bruce Elgert, you all know him, he just started like he did with so many people. He introduced me to some people from the community at one pool party on Sunday evening. And yeah, so I'm not saying that the demigods were suddenly falling off their podium, but I mean, they just became more human. And I got involved in the community. And yeah, I've been to all of the user group events that were there in the UK and in Ireland, in Germany a few, and I just loved going there.
That's awesome. I was wondering how you guys started first with BLUG and then Engage.
Well, actually, it was simply because of the fact that I went to so many user groups and I said, we need something like this here as well. And actually, somebody beat me to it. So there was this guy from a business partner in Belgium who started doing the first BLUG, the Belux Lotus user group. Yeah. And after the first year, he said, I'm not going to continue with this. And then he asked, who will take over? And all the business partners in Belgium said, join me. I'm willing to do that. And then in the end, I said, don't worry, guys. I mean, you mean well, and you do everything you can, but everybody doing a little bit of an event doesn't work. I'll do everything. Yeah, that's a short story. I mean, I got a long story as well about that. Yeah, but then we started with I did the first BLUG, and we did a few extra BLUGs, and after a few years, IBM decided to drop the Lotus brand, so we had to get rid of the name, and then some genius lady from the UK came up with the name Engage, and she designed the logo, and off we went. Yeah.
Cool.
You became known for picking awesome venues for Engage. How do you go about finding and deciding on which venue to use?
Just being lucky, I guess. I mean, and looking at the web and finding stuff. I mean, there's so much going on. Initially, we did only Belgium events, right? And then we said, okay, let's go across the border and do the Netherlands as well. Initially, just across the border, 10 kilometers across the border. We found a nice venue. And it's been a goal ever since. Because why do we want nice venues? Simply because we want to have our sponsors and our speakers and our attendees show them what nice locations we have. And in those locations, there are some nice venues. Some of them were affordable, some of them were not, so we had to skip them. Some of them we had to postpone with a couple of years before we finally had enough money to be able to pay for them. But we ended up having people saying, look, you can't beat this. I mean, when we went to the ship, people said, you can't beat this. It was to be honest, one of my favorite venues, a ship, I mean, a big cruiser ship in Rotterdam. That was just
I was
amazing.
That was fantastic. Yeah.
And we had good weather at that time.
We had amazing weather. So specifically this last Engage in Antwerp, just maybe share now that it's all over some of your highlights.
For us, we always wanted to have this particular venue in Antwerp. but it cost an arm and a leg. But I think you agree that we ended up on a highlight.
That was
And
pretty
Michelle,
good.
you were there as well. I think, I mean, well, we walked in there for the first time live. I mean, we've seen pictures of it, but we walked in there a little bit over a year ago. Yeah, for the first time. I looked at my wife Hilda and I said, look, we want this. We just need to have this, right? And I think everybody who walked in there, the first time you walk in there, you just, it's jaw-dropping,
Yeah.
right? And it had everything we needed. So there were a lot of highlights there, just not just the venue, but just seeing all our friends again, seeing all the people having a good time, and that's already, I mean, that's a highlight for me. Yeah. And then of course there were some personal highlights, like receiving this amazing award in front of 300 people. Yeah, that does something to you, right? I got the emeritus award from Open NTF, which also was very important to me. Yeah, but just seeing this recognition in front of all the people you like and you love, that's just amazing. Yeah. And of course, on the final day, we got an extra gift, me and my wife, in Lego, which was nice. And also all the ambassadors put some money together to send us on a trip to Tuscany. Yeah,
Yeah, that was special.
yes. A lot of highlights. Yeah.
This was my very first Engage, and you mentioned your wife, and it was really touching to me to see, you know, how much she was involved. And I was wondering how she started getting involved, and was she involved right from the start when you started arranging these events?
Well, almost, actually. I think she didn't go to the first two events, but the first time because I didn't organize it. The second one because he just said, yeah, he's doing something. Yeah, and then she got involved more and more. The initial years only as for doing the reception, and you have to mind, my wife is an introvert, so she doesn't really want to do this, right? And she doesn't really want to confront so many people. It's very tough on her. Yeah. But she persisted, and maybe also because I asked every year that she still wanted to do it, and she did. And I mean, in the end, she loves it. But it's also, she is somebody, as an introvert, she's a perfectionist as well. So she wants it to be good, and she got involved more and more. And did you think about this? And did you think about that? And so it was, yeah, she loves doing it, and at the same time she hates doing it. It's a love-hate affair. But I'm glad she was there all the time. It meant a lot.
Her support must be huge for you. And this year was your final Engage. So what about next year?
Yeah, it was my final Engage. I announced it last year in Amsterdam that it would be my final Engage. And I still organize this. Well, me and Hilda, we organized entirely by ourselves. I could have started the handover already because we had a few candidates. And so we were lucky to be able to have a few candidates to take over. And in the end, we decided to go for Chris de Bisschop and Tom van Aken, both Belgians as well, known in the community. Both of them have been ACL ambassadors for many years. I think they're in good hands. I mean, I'm pretty sure they still don't really know what's involved, right, in organizing, but because it's more than just being there for the 2 days. It's a lot of preparations, but I'll be seeing them in about 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and I'm going to do the handover. They're in for a surprise, I guarantee you that. Yeah,
no doubt.
but I'm glad we found a solution, and I'm glad it's people from the community who know everything, and who know a lot of people, and so I'm happy that Engage continues, and I'll be there. Yeah, count on it.
Yeah, it's your last as organizer, but not your last as an attendee.
Nope. You're not rid of me yet.
Well, thanks for all you do, Theo, for the community, and it's a pleasure to give you the award. And thank everybody for watching the video today. If you don't mind taking a moment and clicking that like button, it'll bring you good luck and maybe bring us some views. And again, Theo, thanks a million, and everybody have a great day.